All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to fight for a cure. And we're going to fight for a cure coming up here this Saturday. And it's an event that I'm really proud to support. And I hope that you join me in supporting this event as well coming up because we're right there. We're right there to get this event to sell out. So let's push it to the finish line. If I have to personally push it to the finish line, we're going to get there. But to talk about what's ahead this coming Saturday is two of my favorite guys here. And of course, a guy that's become one of my favorites on YouTube. He's a YouTube sensation. He's even wearing our own shirt. I have no idea how he even got this merchandise. He must have really reached from the depths of hell, the bowels of hell, you might even say. Maybe it was through a Testament song, a Dead song. I have no idea how he found that shirt, but we're going to talk about that and some, no doubt, and a lot also going on with him. Of course, he is Mr. V to the H, but also alongside him, a man that has quite a resume, quite a legacy, and quite a history. He is also a world heavyweight champion. He's going to talk about that here shortly. But they're also going to talk about a group that they have been a huge part of, which has dominated up and down the Northeast and the Mid-Atlantic wrestling scene here over these past few years. They are the Murder City Hit Squad. Well, won't hold it against them without putting the R. But obviously, ladies and gentlemen, I promise you this is going to be worth it because we are getting ready. We have a slew of shows ahead in regarding to Fight for a Cure. Plus, I've got an announcement for somebody else that's coming on Sportswire Radio. And these guys' chairs, who I know definitely they have a good experience or two with them in terms of seeing them in a ring. But ladies and gentlemen, it's time to give these guys the introduction that they deserve. Plus, I've even got something to present to them that you'll certainly want to tune in for. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get right to it because they have gotten the introductions before. I want to give it to them because now you're getting two for the price of one. So let's get right to it here on Sportswire Radio. So with that, wait for it. Further ado here on the Sports Report. The number one Global Sports Show. They call them the Murder City Hit Squad, the V. His name is Van Hansen, and the SSW. Heavyweight champion world. His name is Kid Fellas, how are ya?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Ask me after the show because this is the second time today I'm doing that type of intro. Thankfully, it wasn't as long as my first one because I had a 9-minute intro and it just kept going and going. Yeah, it was 9 minutes, and we want to induct you in the Hall of Fame, but I'm gonna have to do it the next time you come on because my voice is like not too good right now. But I also want to make sure I present to you guys something first to take care of business in presenting something for Fight for a Cure and supporting this event. Obviously, want to get this event over the finish line. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to you. And I know, obviously, everybody that's supporting the event. But for those that are listening and watching on Sportswire Radio, let's introduce you guys as the Murder City Hit Squad and talk about what you guys are up to and why have you guys really been a Murder City Hit Squad that has had many victims on the hit list and probably many more victims ahead to come.
We started Murder City about 2020, 2021?
Yeah.
And things didn't necessarily work out. People getting in the way, things happening, life happening. And now, at the perfect timing, I think bringing Murder City back to conquer SSW, Amplified, Enterprise, any other promotion that really wants to have us, I think the timing was perfect, and we are currently back doing this on a grander scale than we did the first time. So
Absolutely.
This is a retribution for the Murder City Hit Squad?
I mean, we have what? We're going to be at HWF, Honorary Wrestling Federation, Enterprise, Amplified. We don't know when yet, but we will be at DBW.
You will be at DBW? I mean, where else could you guys be next? I mean, for all you know, you could be knocking on my door next, giving me a beatdown. Hopefully not, though.
Thinking about it.
We're going to be we're at SSW, of course.
Of course.
And we're trying to get more places. So
when IWL comes back.
Oh, yeah, IWL.
It'll definitely be interesting. But I think the thing we haven't really said or done yet that is the most interesting is when we welcome DBW to Murder City.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, that's interesting for a second. Because, and I want to say hello to people, and I'm obviously going to put the links up so we can support the Fight for a Cure, everything else. We're going to get to that in a second. But, you said DBW introducing DBW to the Murder City Hit Squad, I should say. But that's kind of something different that I've used to seeing you in DBW, Mr. V to the H Van Hansen. I mean, we had you on last month. We spoke a little bit about some different things where you obviously were looking to do and didn't do. And are you meaning to tell me that things might be different when DBW starts here at some point soon?
Yeah, I will say, first coming in, DBW, I tried to be professional. I tried to be nice. I tried to let the other wrestlers, respect me. In return for respect, I tried to show respect to Jackson Sabre. I tried to show respect to Cyrus because he's been in the company forever. Ever since one, right? Yeah. Right? And who else? Chase Wakefield, too.
Oh, the Bitcoin billionaire. You happen to know Chase. Yeah, I know Chase Wakefield. Know him real well.
When I came in to DBW, Chase he had an open challenge. I took this as an opportunity to show the world how much of a liar and a cheater he is. And ultimately, it didn't work out in my favor. So maybe showing respect in this company is long overdue.
And they think I was just at DBW to watch. See, I've been to a few DBW shows, but I wasn't there to just watch. I was there to watch this man and how he got treated. Now, see, we know when Murder City is coming to DBW, but DBW doesn't know when Murder City is coming to DBW.
And it's funny you said some of those things here, Mr. V to the H Van Hansen, because I did kind of bring up in the first interview that, yeah, sure, you were a veteran. You know how things go. You know basically what it takes in order to win. You've held championships before in other promotions. And the approach, it seemed to me, especially when it came to the It Factor Cyrus and others like Jackson Sabre, didn't seem to work. So maybe a new attitude could do you some good, and maybe bringing some buddies of yours where you've had a lot of success could certainly go a long way, I would think.
Yep. And if you go back and you watch, what was it, the ladder match with Judgment and Castelli?
Yes.
Yep. Small detail. This man, from the crowd, held the ladder up in the corner for Mr. Judgment.
Now, if Castelli would have done it, I wouldn't have helped.
See, the Murder City is always watching. Me being the propagandist, I know everything that's going on in that company, behind the scenes, in front of it. I am the eyes and ears of DBW, and this man is the powerhouse, soon to be.
Well, you have a man that's a world champion currently, so clearly this is a man. Look at the size of the stature of this man, ladies and gentlemen. Look at what this man brings to the table.
Coming for all the gold.
And look at what he's held multiple championships at once. And on top of that, he's pretty much done it all throughout the Pennsylvania, Northeast, Mid-Atlantic area. So if I'm anybody in DBW, I would certainly tread very, very lightly.
I mean, we don't care if you're Chaos Conspiracy, Rolling Havoc,
the Heretics.
If
they're still a thing.
Stompers are around still. I mean, I noticed they're on your show coming up. The Stompers.
Who's that?
I don't know.
They're going to get stomped.
Would you? Oh, really?
They are literally going to get stomped.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I mean, I must have walked right into that one, right?
And then Rolling Havoc, Ace Christian.
The Blaze Ace Christian. Interesting name you bring up. The Blaze
name
Ace
we can drop here. That's definitely someone who can squash their ego.
Yeah.
You sure you want to do that, though, with the Blaze Ace Christian? Because I'm sure you guys watch Versus the World Wrestling.
He's a punk. He's had everything handed to him.
The dude is 80 pounds soaking wet.
Well, I think he weighs
he's
more.
got everything handed to him.
But I think he weighs more than Chase Wakefield. No.
I mean, yeah,
by like 2 pounds.
by 2 pounds. Yeah, exactly. Chase and Ace. That's a conspiracy.
So, you mean to say if I put Chase and Ace together, would that still weigh almost half of what you weigh, Kid Mike?
Is he trying to call you fat?
I was actually control you big. I was trying to call you big, actually. But
I mean,
he can come to DBW and get the work too.
He could.
Oh, I don't think they would want me in DBW. I think they would want me away from DBW.
No, I'm sure they would once you DBW. I'm sure.
I don't know about that. I think they want people like you guys that have actually had success and actually held championships. They don't want.
There's the Brooklyn Prodigies too.
I know the Brooklyn Prodigies. I know very well because the Brooklyn.
They may give us a little problem, but not much.
Not much, but the thing with them is
the Brooklyn Prodigies, by the way, not to cut you off, they actually have wrestled for a company probably heard of called Pro Wrestling Venom with a guy I happen to know, Jimmy Controversy. That name ring a bell to you guys? Yeah.
So the thing with the Prodigies is they're different. You know why? They don't kiss ass. They kick it. Their theme song, I will just say this, their theme song is one of the catchiest themes I've ever heard in wrestling.
No. Well, that's saying a lot from you, by the way.
Saying a lot from me, yeah.
But you said
I mean, could you imagine if me and Behemoth faced off?
That would be no. I don't think big Behemoth
Are we actually getting strategy on Sportswire and how we take? It's interesting. This is actually good because Friday I called my first ever match. Sunday I called my second ever match, and now I'm actually seeing in-fight strategy. So I mean, I'm getting excited.
We always have strategies.
Yes.
But on air, this is a first on Sportswire to actually have strategies on air. So I'm impressed, by the way. I'm really impressed in it. But, you said something, and I will get to comments in a second, but you talked about the fact that there are certain teams that ass kiss maybe, or certain teams that, maybe they go about things, let's say in DBW, for an example, right? They go, in maybe ways that they would go about it in terms of maybe getting them, the success that they would aspire to. Are you then saying that, certain teams or certain people or where they are in DBW or might be where they are because of, let's say, I don't know, they know the right friends and make the right connections and that, you guys are basically against all that stuff? I mean, you want to talk about that for a second? Because it sounds rather interesting that you said that.
So our whole gimmick pretty much is the wrestling world is one big conspiracy. And it honestly is. And we're going to expose every company one by one until they're all exposed, no matter what it takes.
No matter what it takes. When you have a hit squad behind you, it really is one of those moments of while you expose the business, you also have the muscle to expose it. Because if you take like a team like Ego, they're all friends with the writers and the higher ups in DBW. You take a team like the Dark Brotherhood, them too. You take the Prodigies and the Stompers, and there aren't really those two teams were completely different. Even Chaos Conspiracy is a little different, but then you have like the Heretics, which like I said, I don't even know if they exist anymore. But like Caden Phoenix, definitely one of the friends of the higher ups, definitely.
I'm gonna plead the fifth on some of that, but what I will say is that
it's true.
Interesting, gentlemen.
This man knows the truth.
I don't. Well, I mean, I could
He's the
say.
Reverend.
Well, let me just say this. Let me put it in a kind way, gentlemen. Let me put it in a kind way. I have heard through the grapevine that maybe there are certain teams that wrestle in one place and another place, and they have the same style, and they wrestle the same matches, and you kind of see it's almost like a factory line. So are you meaning to tell me, gentlemen, for those that are listening and watching, and those that might know some of the quote-unquote inside baseball, you can take it for whatever you want. Is it a shoot? Is it not? Are you saying then that you guys denounce the tactics of, let's say, the usual suspects wrestling the usual matches, the usual storylines, and more or less, let's say, I don't know, maybe insulting the wrestling fans' intelligence.
I hate the wrestling fans.
I mean, the wrestling fans are in on it just as much as the teams
Yes.
and other wrestlers, and they're blind to the truth because they don't want to hear the truth. We've tried several times to give them the truth. They don't want to hear it. They boo us, but they are the sheep with the wool over their
We're the
eyes.
good guys.
We are.
They're the bad guys.
For real. They won't listen to us. It's time to pull the wool from over your eyes, sheep.
Let me ask you one follow-up question on specifically DBW. I'm going to do this very kindly here. Let me put this very kindly. Do you mean to tell me that the management of DBW is basically no different than the wrestling fans and is basically, in a way, I don't know, got the same intelligence, or maybe, I don't know, trying to insult, let's say, the sophisticated, or the, how can I put it, the wrestling person that might kind of be able to tie 2 and 2 together? Is that what you're telling me right now?
Well, yes and no.
Mm-hmm.
I would say the higher power of DBW is, more intelligent than the average fan, the average smart.
Okay. Because I know nothing about what a SMARC is, by the way. I know nothing about this stuff. I mean, I have no intelligence at all. That's why I find it very fascinating that you're talking about some of these things tonight.
I don't know. I feel a little backed in a corner with that question.
I don't want to discredit the office of DBW,
Right.
the writers, the bookers, the promoters, because DBW is a very good show.
It is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, listen. I mean,
They have
I
very good
rave about it
wrestlers.
all the time. I rave
However-
about it all the time. I mean, the content is phenomenal. They have a great roster. A lot of the roster have wrestled also, in different places. I mean, and it's got thousands of followers. Shows have thousands of views. So, I mean, there are people around the world that like the product. There are people that enjoy what DBW has to offer. So, I mean, from those standpoints, I think just as somebody that watches wrestling like myself, that tries to appreciate what everybody brings to the table. After all, the slogan here is all wrestling matters on Sportswire. I happen to enjoy the DBW product.
See, I put DBW on somewhat of a pedestal over your average indie company because when
Okay.
it comes to production, when it comes to talent, graphics, video production, interviews, segments,
Mhm.
equipment, DBW,
They
have it. And, most of the time they're classified as underground wrestling.
Yeah,
But
pretty
they
much.
draw more views in than a lot of the indie
Independence.
fans that are claimed to be the greatest.
Yeah.
And
Pretty much.
the production level for that show is one of the best.
Yeah,
And-
I think I agree with that 1,000%. I totally agree.
Yeah. So I won't, also discredit anybody in that aspect. And getting to work with a lot of those guys and, sharing and receiving tricks of the trade, that show's just about got it all.
Yeah.
And sometimes there's little things that move the marker there. Like, for example, interacting more with the camera. That's something I've told a lot of guys. Like, the audience in the venue is not very big. So the audience at home is definitely bigger.
Yes.
So you should appeal to them more than you should appeal to those around. While it might seem a little dumb, that's the way like bigger promotions like WWE, TNA work.
Yeah.
That's your moneymaker right there.
And if you talk to the camera, the fans are going to get involved in that too. Whether you're a good guy or bad guy, heel or face,
Yeah.
they're gonna. If you tell the camera, screw you, the crowd around you is gonna know you're talking to them too.
Yes.
Well, if you're like, come on, DBW, the crowd at home
Mhm.
and the crowd there are gonna know that you're interacting with both.
The way wrestling has evolved since the 90s, if you look at like 80s and before that, it's more of a live experience. 90s
Absolutely.
and beyond to now, it's a production. It's a television production.
Well, the
It's,
style of wrestling changed, and
Yeah.
the way the presentation has changed. I mean, you go back from, even like late 90s wrestling, there was, again, to use the term, a factory line type of style that everybody used, even, from WWF on down to the independents, the television like studio, the contrived crowd. Basically, you had the same type of set in terms of a match, a format. The promo was all pre-packaged. It was basically like going to a supermarket and getting a prepackaged frozen food. Now, obviously, wrestling, again, there's many flavors. There's also many things that we have from a technology standpoint. And the way wrestling is marketed, the way it was different. But also, there's something else that DBW is lacking: the Murder City Hit Squad. Hello,
Absolutely.
That's it. That's the only thing they need left. That's the final. We are the final piece to the puzzle.
I say what? Give us 3 to 4 months, and we're taking over DBW.
Well, I'll tell you what, the season is not too far away, and I'll tell you what, the tag team division may be crowded, but I think it's going to get a lot more crowded, but it's also going to see a lot more movement in terms of who could certainly become champions, and certainly everybody else in between that better just get out of these guys' way, because their resume across the Mid-Atlantic and the Northeast speaks for itself. You want to say something, my friend? Go ahead.
I don't think it'll get overly crowded because I think we'll be population reduction.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Sending people out in body bags.
So yeah, Murder City is pretty much just natural selection in wrestling form.
Well, I would point out that if you do need a place to dump the bodies, I actually do live across from a cemetery, so I mean, there's room, I'm sure.
We'll just send them to his house.
Yeah.
Across the street from
overnight shipping.
I think you can get maybe expedited shipping at a lower cost, right? But who knows, right? But be that as it may, I have a lot of people that want to talk to you guys. I think a lot of people are kind of like surprised what's going on. That's why I think I'm having that. Why not? You know what? I'm actually happy it goes this way, because sometimes I have people come on and and I'll leave you guys aside from. I'll have guys that are like pro wrestlers and they're in other parts of the world, and I'll be like. not anybody recently, but I had one guy on in particular, and I don't want to say his name, but he's a phenomenal wrestler. I think he was scouted by WWE, but he came on here, and it was about over a year ago, and he was like, I could have had like 10 of these. I still would have been tired. I still wouldn't have woke up. But you guys definitely are doing something interesting, and I appreciate that. And I appreciate the Megadeth Rust in Peace poster banner there, because I had that on cassette. That was the first cassette I think I ever bought, was Rust in Peace. But that's a different conversation in a little while. Here we go, Mr. Dat Voice. Now you might know him. You know him a little bit. But obviously, it's Metal Talk Mondays with Van Hansen.
I promised I would talk about DVG on this show, since you talked about me on when he was on.
I did.
So big shout out to DVG. He's coming in to do a special guest ring announcer.
One of the best ring announcers I've ever seen.
No, for real.
Absolutely.
He keeps the crowd into it.
Yes.
He keeps the wrestlers into it. There's, as a wrestler, if you have a boring entrance for like a ring announcer, if they make your entrance boring, you go out there and you're just like, I'm ready to wrestle, but whatever. But DVG makes sure everyone, single wrestler is pumped up when they walk out of that curtain.
Not only that, but like he contributes to the shows in a way. Like I've seen other ring announcers like take control of like the show, like take liberties, if you will, and be like, oh, they'll change the guy's name to make funny because he's a heel. No, DVG will sprinkle in moments that are like perfect for the show. He doesn't hijack it. He is one of the most professional ring announcers I've ever worked with. You've ever worked with. I know, like that man doesn't have enough praise.
No, the man. Listen, I think that he's pound for pound one of the best, and that's why he's got so many subscribers on YouTube. I lost count on how many, in the 70,000 range. That's why we always love when he comes on here and tunes in. Want to say hello to my buddy Soldier GP, the IMF World Champion, and he says he's gonna come. I'm gonna come give this to be continued. Any other promotion? If you're looking for that big name fight, that main event match against a main event team, look no farther than the Foundation. Me and my partner Omen Black, and they've been pretty well known in the state of Iowa.
Okay.
Listen, Iowa, Pennsylvania.
Look that up.
Similars. Yeah. All right.
Let's do it.
That's good to know. I would think a lot of people would like to see that. Speaking of people we mentioned, the Bitcoin billionaire.
Clown.
I know where you live, Chase.
We're only about a couple minutes from his house.
Not even a mile.
Well, it would be nice actually if you really want to, certainly spice things up. You could go knock on his door right now, live on Sportswire.
We could take the camera with us.
What was the segment on Raw years ago with, I think, was it Stone Cold invaded Brian Pillman's house? That I think
yes, that's what started the Attitude Era.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, if you guys want to do that on Sportswire, people have been telling me directly. Well, now Sportswire. I used to think these interviews were professional, and you let people on and speak, and I don't know what they're speaking about. But if you really want to spice things up, if you know where he lives, I mean, we'd love to see it live on Sportswire. If you want to ring Chase's bell, I mean, we certainly love to see
on his stream. I'll break in on history.
I'll tell you what. If you do that, I mean, I'll dedicate a month to you guys. I'll dedicate a year to you guys. If you do that, I mean, I'll tell you what. I mean, that would be a lot of fun. I'll tell you that. I think we referred back to this.
Oh, it's Mass Mullet.
Mass Mullet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
how you doing, Mass Mullet? Nice to speak
You
with you.
called me fat.
Oh, I did? I don't remember. No, we were talking about Ace Christian and Chase Wakefield's weight. If I put the two of them together, would it still weigh almost as big as you? That was basically more or less the question. If I put the two of them together, would they still weigh as much as you? I'd say probably not. Probably not.
Probably still only about 180 pounds.
That's true. And Mr. Wakefield doesn't seem to like you guys. They said these guys suck. But, I guess conversely, I mean, is he really Aaron Jones' best friend? Because Aaron Jones still doesn't seem to think so, though.
I don't think so.
No.
Now,
I mean,
he's just trying to ride Aaron's coattails.
Yeah, well, hold on. We suck. What has the Don's March ever done?
and we're going to see them in action coming up this Saturday, right? For Amplified Wrestling and Enterprise Wrestling's Fight for a Cure. So, I mean, you guys are going to have a front row seat to that.
You could take him out of that match.
Pencil and eraser, Chase.
Well, I mean, don't you think that
He's
people...
the pencil.
Boy. I mean, it's getting interesting tonight on Sportswire. I mean, Chase Wakefield could be the pencil. I mean, he could be as skinny as the pencil, right? I mean, the pencils, if you look at the size of a pencil, it's usually pretty skinny. But, I mean, okay, fine, fair enough. I mean, let me get to some more comments. Shake the right hands. He's referring to more or less what you guys were talking about earlier in the management and other things that go on in the wrestling world. Want to say hello to my buddy, Mr. Jamdog, the CCW Carnage Hardcore Champion, who's up at 1:03 in the morning, who did actually tell me that he likes to watch Sportswire and watch me talk to different people around the world. So thank you very much. And he's also going to be wrestling this Saturday. Very similar for a slightly different type of cause, but an important cause to us that we're supporting on Sportswire. He is wrestling Sugar Ray Taylor, of course, the legendary Sugar Ray Taylor, who's wrestled here in America, wrestled in Mexico, other parts of the world, and they're going to be putting on a tribute match for Mr. Carnage, Sean Duffy, and tuning in. Also, want to say hello to my buddy Levi McDaniel, my man Rev Tom, putting in work today on Sportswire. Yeah, this is the fourth time I'm on in 24 hours. At this point, I think I said it on your show. I legitimately, I feel like I'm Jerry Lewis when he used to do those, those telethons for, was it a muscular dystrophy? I mean, I feel like he go for 24 hours and like be on the air. I feel like at this point that's going to happen one day. But thank you, Levi. Everybody should sub to his page because he also, like Van Hansen, has over 1,000 subscribers. IMF Foundation versus the world. You know what? You never know. Also, though, Mr. Wakefield would like to point out, when the Dawn's March become amplified tag team champions, you two will be irrelevant in your own home. You have a response toward that?
Bro wears a mask in his profile picture and his promo picture. And leaves a comment like that.
Say that to our face.
Do you think it's because maybe Aaron doesn't really approve of the photo without the mask?
Probably. I mean, why would you want the Grudge as your best friend?
Well, no comment. Let's move on.
I'll tell Chase this. You win the Amplified Tag Team Championships at Fight for a Cure, you can face us.
Okay.
Interesting. Interesting. Maybe, but how about this? You ready? I got a response, and you'll probably actually chuckle at this and maybe agree. Last time we saw Mr. Wakefield in a ring was this past Sunday, quote unquote, for his YouTube championship in VTW. And he, quote unquote, came up short. Maybe now you're giving him motivation this Saturday to win some gold, because certainly he disappointed Aaron for sure this past Sunday. And now that puts you right where you guys want to be and reclaiming some more gold to almost short-term gain, long-term loss for the Bitcoin billionaire, huh?
I also will say, Chase, sometimes V to the H likes to throw a wrench in people's plans. I'll leave it at that. I gotta have a talk with Dennis G.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, this is an interesting conversation tonight. DBW is the greatest. How you doing? See you Saturday, Van Hansen. Chase Wakefield, though, is my hero.
What the hell?
See you Saturday. Is this guy coming to the show?
Yeah. He's doing post-production with us, commentary.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's a commentator for DBW.
Okay, sweet.
Oh yes, I know who this is. You know, I just realized now I picture him in the DBW shows. Oh, how you doing? Nice to speak with you. Why did I not make that connection? Yes, I've seen you before. Make the call right by the little booth there. Yes, good to see you. Good to see you. Why did I not make that connection? Well, now I just did. Soldier wanted you to spell the murder. It happens. You can fix it, but at this point, we're already halfway through the interview. It doesn't make a difference. We get the point. I want to say hello to the big man of DBW, quote unquote, Mr. Big Tex, and he says Murder City Hit Squad. Hello, gentlemen. Anything you want to say to Big Tex?
What's up?
Big Tex is in the Bears Rumble.
He's in the Bears Rumble. We'll have to see what.
So are you?
Man, you act like I can throw that man out by myself.
I think you can. If
Okay.
not, I'll just throw myself as the owner of Enterprise. I'll just throw myself in there too, and we can both just toss his big ass out.
I mean, hey, Big Tex, good luck in the Bears Rumble. You know, that's going to be cool. That was a surprise entrance.
Well, you know what? You got him at the right time because he just won the Breakout Star of the Year in DBW. So, I mean, you got a guy in there who now is going to have a bullseye on his back because he was on here talking this, talking that, and he's saying, maybe I see the light, and who knows what else is on his mind, and now he's got a big target on his back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, you know what? We'll have to.
Best of luck, Big Tex.
Yes, Big Tex. I'm looking forward to seeing how far he gets. Because the first time we went to a DBW show was a Rumble. We sat in the crowd actually and observed, and I picked Big Tex to win that match.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a Big Tex fan.
I like him too. He comes on Sportzwire. I have a lot more comments, but let me ask you guys this question before I get to the audience here. You guys are wrestlers, and you go out and watch a match that you're not involved in. Let me ask this question in an objective way. You can answer this in any way you want. What do you learn when you watch a show you're not on? What do you learn and take away for your own experiences? I'm just curious.
A lot.
Yeah.
Sure.
A lot. Just not even from us doing production, booking, promoting, or wrestling. We look at it as all aspects. And sometimes even what would we have done different at this show? Or, hey, I like this setup. We should get a setup like this too. Or
one thing I look at, when scouting talent, is how they interact with the crowd. What's their character like? And surprisingly enough, the main three things I look at, the last one is footwork. And that, to me, makes or breaks a wrestler, really. Because if you're out there just stomping around all sloppy and happy feet, it's very distracting.
yes.
It's very distracting and unprofessional. But if you're out there and you're and I can tell the movements and you've been properly trained and you're not making a single sound until that first bump. And on top of that, you're engaging with the crowd and selling tickets. We might talk.
Tickets are a big deal. I mean, I don't want to shit on nobody, but there's a lot of guys who believe their work is worth $200, but can't sell a single ticket.
I'm going to say this, and if somebody wants to shoot me at this point, you can go ahead and you guys can take over for me on Sportswire. I have heard this around the world from other wrestlers. There are certain wrestlers that I happen to know that can sell 40, 50 tickets on their own, and that's why they are where they are in the card. And there are others that don't share a post on Facebook, don't share a post on Instagram, don't do anything to actually promote a show that they're on. So I am not surprised that you're saying this, because there's particularly a couple of wrestlers that I know around the world that actually happen to be the best at selling tickets for their companies, and that's why they are where they are in the card. And then there are others that, how can I say it to put it a nice way? That's why they are where they are, and maybe why they don't get booked as much as they like. That's all. I'm not going to say anything further on that.
Do you mind if I give a shout out real quick?
You can say anything you want.
Okay, I want to give a shout out to Gangster Granny.
Oh yes,
Gangster Granny. She refs and manages for Enterprise and Amplified.
Yes.
Awesome.
And that lady is 60 years old.
Oh, awesome.
And she will sell anywhere between 40 to 60 tickets for us.
Yeah.
Every show.
Yeah.
And this is a 60, probably even older than 60-year-old woman.
Yes. I will say, when people hear the term "pay your dues," they assume that it's to help set up a ring. No, paying your dues is going out, busting your ass, selling tickets, hanging up flyers, talking to people about the show. If you see a kid wearing a wrestling shirt, you say, "Hey, you like wrestling?" You know what I mean? You give flyers to people who are showing general interest in wrestling. One time we went into Walmart and there was a old dude looking at wrestling figures. Remember?
Yes.
We were like, "Hey, you like wrestling? We're having a wrestling show. You should come out and check it out." Promote, network, promote. Like you said, there's a reason why certain guys are on the card the way they are. And a funny example I have of that is I worked a show in West Virginia with this one guy who was horrible at wrestling. Remember? You know what I'm talking about? He was horrible at wrestling, right? And he was their one champion. And it was a battle royal or something, and I got in there and I was working with them. And I just looked out in the crowd. Every single person there was wearing a shirt with his name on it.
Yes.
And I was like, he sold that whole row. That's why he is where he is. And I was like, because we talked about bringing him in before. And it was like, oh, that guy can't wrestle. It was like, no, he sold 50 tickets. He's going on the show.
And here's the thing. You want $200? Sell me $200 worth of tickets.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Listen, I mean, I'm trying to be very diplomatic when we talk about these things, because I know somebody's going to assume that I'm speaking about somebody, but there's no question that, if you're on a show, you should be going out to your local mall. You should be knocking on doors of people you know. You should be passing out business cards, shaking hands. These are things I speak with people, especially with my British guys, not CCW because they sell out every show, but some of the other guys and the other promotions I speak with, where in the small towns, wrestling is the only game in town. If you don't do those things and you are booked on to be paid, you should not be paid if you do not bring in one ticket. I mean, that's just as a businessman myself, as a man that has been, I would say, without being too cocky, relatively successful financially, I would say you got to go out there and you got to go out and meet the people. And there's always an old adage that if you don't feel the people in your community, you got nothing. Meaning that if you don't have a base, you're going nowhere. So if you're going out there, you're on a show, and you want to be paid X amount of dollars, or you're expecting to be in front of a big house, you got to go out there and want it. You got to go out there and tell the people. Because if nobody knows anything, nobody's going to show up. So ultimately, listen, the old adage would be, even going back, I just listened to the Mick Foley podcast where he talked about the UWF and Herb Adams, where he booked a 22,000-seat MGM arena and sold 200 tickets. Well, that tells you right there that it doesn't matter who you are. It could be top to bottom, whatever it might be. You got to go out there and you got to go want it, and you got to go out there on behalf of the company and the people that you represent. So I agree with you on it, but a lot of people want to talk.
Honestly, I think especially this show, all of our guys have sold at least a couple tickets. Yeah. So I want to give a shout out to all of our roster.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Especially Granny, they've all sold plenty of tickets. I believe right now we're sitting at over 100 pre-sale tickets.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Even if I always tell people, sometimes selling tickets to people for an indie wrestling show is hard, because let's say you want to sell a ticket to your grandma or something, and she lives 2 hours away and she can't make the drive, blah, blah, blah. Tell the people you work with, you can tell one person. All you need is one person to tell 5, to tell 10, to tell 20, to tell 50.
As crappy as this sounds, if you see, if you're out flying, now I want to just go up to it, but if I'm out flying and you see a kid, all kids love wrestling.
Yes.
Absolutely.
This is your dad's method.
Yes. If you see a kid with their parents, go up and tell their parents, be like, hey, do you guys like wrestling? Here's a flyer. We're having and that kid is going to be like, Mommy, Daddy, I want to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's old school psychology right there with getting fans to shows, because that kid will then not shut up about that show.
Yep.
And there's no question about it. Now, listen, you got to go out there, and a lot of people actually want to talk to you. So let me try to get to comments here, first of all, because a lot of people still. Now, you seem like you got people interested tonight. DVD appreciates that. His much love. Also, Fight for a Cure.
Arcane.
Exactly.
What cure exactly? Well,
Ewing sarcoma.
Yes. For this, here you go ahead. And
So I might get a little emotional.
No, feel free. Listen, I'm supporting the effort. So anything you want to say.
So I don't want no sympathy. I'm gonna tell a little front story first. I don't want no sympathy, but there's two things in my life that are hard that I've had to tell my kids. Well, my daughter, and that's one when her mother passed away, and
I'm sorry.
two when her friend from her cheerleading has cancer, and like it's one of the hardest things as a father. And this is me, Michael Hess, not Kid Mike right now. Like as a father,
Sure.
that was one of the hardest things. And so like seeing it, and I didn't even know this was the second time. This is the second time. I didn't know she had it once before, but you would have never thought this little girl had cancer. Watching her out on the football field cheering, doing everything all these other kids are doing. So she's definitely a fighter. But it's a 9-year-old girl on my daughter's cheer team is Ewing sarcoma for the second time, and so I messaged her mom. I was like, "Look, how can we help? Can I do this show for you?" And she was like, "Oh, absolutely. We appreciate everything." So I told him, I was like, "Look, bro, let's do this."
Yeah.
And I, not a single person on this show is receiving anything.
no,
Which I appreciate it.
we got a lot of guys who usually would ask for a little bit of
Right.
something, but most of the guys that we didn't have to ask for this show,
Right.
they wanted to work
They
the show.
messaged
They
us.
heard,
They were like, "Look, can I be
Yeah.
a part of something great?
which
Can I
is
do this for a great cure?" And
it's amazing to get that feedback in wrestling because, like I always say, man, whenever you get a chance to, for us wrestlers, like to do what we love for a great cause, and then the fans, like all it is, man, you can pay this little bit of money, you can come out and see us beat the crap out of each other, and it's for a good cause. Like I love this type
is
of
this
work.
our Arcane?
I don't know. He had another comment.
I don't know.
I think he would have known. That's what I was like,
Jason Wakefield isn't very awake, is he?
Ours is spelled differently.
yeah.
I don't know, but I did want to say real quick, and that's to me, what it's about. If I could for a second, I'll get to more comments. Is why I really wanted to support this event because, if I could be blunt for a second, a lot of people in my position bring things to my attention to support. There's a lot of different causes out there. It's not just in wrestling, some of my other works in the community. People bring my attention to things. Can you support this? Can you do that? A lot of times I tend to generally be supportive, but this one particularly to me was important because I felt when a little girl is involved and everything else, and we take for granted a lot of things in life. We get all these different things, all these different opportunities, but somebody that we want, we may not get those opportunities, and to go through those struggles. That's why I wanted to personally support the event, personally support the show, and I'll do anything that I can to get you guys over the finish line. I know Brandon's going to be here Thursday, and I'll make sure that we continue to do that as well. But I think it's really important for me because, again, I get a lot of things forwarded to me, a lot of people that want to say, can you do this? Can you do that? But this was one for me that I really wanted to support because I think a lot of people would be impacted and could see, what, maybe I could support these guys too, because, like you said, guys are going out there, they're not looking to make money. They're looking to actually help a cause to make a difference for. And I think to me, that's what wrestling should be about. I know, yes, we had fun and cheek just before. We were talking about the management and the tickets, which is, which is fun. Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed it. People like it. They, the tongue in cheek in the character. But really, to me, wrestling at the end of the day, what it should be about is bringing people together from all backgrounds, all walks of life. Wrestling should be a diversion from what's going on in the world, what's going on in people's lives. And that's why I wanted to strongly support this event, strongly support you guys. And anything I can do, we will definitely do that. And if you want to support these guys, before I bring up to some more comments and actually present Enterprise and Amplified Wrestling with something, I want you to do some different things here. Support V to the H, support Kid Mike here, and all these different links. Amplified Wrestling, also Enterprise Wrestling. Check them out on Facebook as well. I couldn't fit the sticker in, unfortunately, because I only get 200 words on these banners. But Enterprise and Amplified, you can see it on the Facebook page. Basically, they're co-sharing the site. So obviously, it's for a great cause. February the 24th, and make sure you get out there. We're going to be here Thursday also with Brandon Costelli, the Mauler, to support the cause. And before I present to you guys something, I want to say hello to some people. Well, a lot of people are here. I guess speaking of DBW, because they said you guys are awesome.
DBW, we're coming.
We're coming.
And speaking of somebody else, you guys are going to share a locker room with this Saturday, if I could bring his name up, Mr. Judgment.
Oh, come on. Filth.
You know him well, Van Hansen. You've seen him up close. You know him well.
He's holding my belt.
Yes, I'm aware. That's why I was, I'm your Amplified World Champion. I will destroy Sean Phoenix.
Well, I hope you do, because I hate Sean Phoenix.
I've heard that before in multiple places. That's something I've already heard. So, I mean, been there, done that. And I could think that Mr. Judgment's photo looks like straight from a Yu-Gi-Oh card.
Yeah, I know. Oh.
Fair enough here. I have a lot more comments. Let me get to them. So glad. There we go. So glad to see you on here, Mr. Judgment. Now you can clean this filth up here. All bow down to your Amplified World Champion. Not so nice there, right? Not so nice.
You mean filth?
Not so nice. That wasn't too nice.
Well, yeah, we'll see.
I contacted Dennis G for you, Van Hansen. He responded, Chase who? Really, if he thinks they have a chance with MCHS, haha, we can book it.
Yeah. So Mass Mullet used to be my manager at SSW.
So you guys have a good connection.
We have a good connection, and Dennis G is my commissioner for Amplified. And sometimes Dennis G is hard to get a hold of.
Yes.
But I think he's like good friends with Mullet.
Yes.
So
I believe they're roommates.
roommates.
Oh, wow.
At the trailer park.
Yes.
The king of the trailer.
Yes.
Because Mass Mullet is like the king of the trailer park of the Empire, stacked up trailers on each other or something.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get that so wrong. I'm sorry.
You know what though? On surface, people would have an opinion of that, but you know what? I would at least I'm the king of something, right?
Yeah.
How many people could say they're a king of something? You could look at it. I always try to look at things like half glass full, and you could say, well, he's the king of something. How many people can say they're a king of something? So
The Murder City.
The Murder City King.
Well, you guys hold gold. I mean, so obviously, yeah, you guys. But I mean, aside from the commissioner here, yeah. I mean, you know what? Big shout out. I want to say hello to my buddy Sugar Ray Taylor. I just messaged you on Facebook, and I'm on now. I don't know if I can do it one later, but I have you on Thursday. But maybe we'll see tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow we'll do something in the evening, which would be morning your time. So thank you for that.
Message you?
Yep.
David Range is here, the WCE Interstate Champion. He was basically agreeing about the ticket part. I'm not expecting to go far in the Rumble, but I thank you for the opportunity for Saturday. I won't disappoint. Well, that's not the attitude. If I'm going to come on,
he's a loser.
I'm going on here and saying I'm going to win the Rumble. What's the matter, guys?
You know what? That's the kind of mentality that I'm not expecting to go far, but at least you're going to try.
Hopefully.
Yeah, but and I know Big Techs, usually you don't come on and say, well, I'm not going to go far. I mean, unless it's a rope-a-dope strategy, but that's a poor, ill-sighted rope-a-dope strategy.
This is a mind game because Big Tech's a strong man.
Yeah.
I've seen him. I've had him on here many times on Sportzwire. You don't have to tell me.
I love Monster Jam.
I was gonna say, I remember. Did anybody remember watching? I don't know if you guys remember this, but Monster Jam used to be on. I think right before when the brief period ECW was on TNN, they used to play Monster Jam like right before it. So I don't know. I figured that. I figured somebody's gonna be like, oh, wow. Well, what are you talking about? I figured that. I do want to say he got confused, but I want to say hello to my buddy, Mr. James Barris, the owner of Cutlery Championship Wrestling. He says sorry to hear about your mother and friend. Obviously, the guys are going to have their own tribute show this Saturday, which we're supporting as well on Sportswire. So wanted to say hello to Mr. Barris, who's up at 1:25 a.m. Somebody I'm going to have in your chair next Tuesday. Speaking of people you mentioned, and he won the VTW Rumble, and he's going into a Hall of Fame, Mr. Ace.
He just called us boys.
Boys. This guy's a boy. You know what?
Mm-hmm.
I will say this. Ace Christian is an up-and-coming talent.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
He's an up-and-coming talent on the independent scene. And I will say, Amplified, We've talked to him. We've had him on our show before. Enterprise, you've talked to him.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this. Call me when you're 18. I'll put you against one of my strongest guys.
So not impressed with the Rumble win in VTW this past weekend?
No.
Okay, I gotta ask. I mean, he won the Rumble. He won a 20-person Rumble. Not impressed with the haircut either. You like the new haircut?
Absolutely not.
No, I preferred when he had long hair.
So which haircut was worse, his haircut or Robert Pearson's?
Yours.
I haven't got a haircut since God knows when. I mean, I haircut. I mean, people would probably pay to see me get my haircut.
No, Rob Pearson's.
Or Christian. I asked you
no
this
comment.
Well, I'll tell you what. Christian's going to be here live Tuesday. We can flip a coin then and see who's got the worst haircut. How about that? Fair enough here. We're going to move on. This is Sparrow, guys. And yes, I know what it's for, but does the Sportswire fan base? They do now. Yes, I think, yes. That's a fair point. And I think I had mentioned it on a show about Ewing sarcoma. I know I had mentioned it. It probably wasn't caught, but I did mention it a couple of times. But I thank you for obviously letting the story know for the audience, because obviously Brandon's going to be here Thursday. I'm going to talk a little bit further about the cause when Brandon's here. So I appreciate that. And obviously we've endorsed the event, and Mr. Barris says he supports Emperor of the Trailer Park. Is
Emperor of the Trailer Park. There you go.
That's
a good one. Actually, I'll tell a quick story real quick. Actually, in Staten Island, I live in Staten Island. Believe it or not, there is actually one area that actually it's kind of almost like a trailer area. Believe it or not, there's one area. It's I don't know how people will know this geographic wise.
You should bring Mass Mullet on Sportswire.
I'll bring anybody you want on Sportswire. Well, definitely he can message me. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Message me. I'm on Instagram at the Sports Report 2021. In fact, I'll actually pull it up for you. I'll show you my Instagram, because now we actually have a little toy here that I can actually do that. So if you want, I will actually show you my social media. So if you want to get in touch with me, very simple, very easy to the point. So I'm going to make sure we can figure that out here real quick. So if you want to look, there we go. There's my Instagram. So if you want I'm on Instagram. You can do that as well. In fact, we're going to even make it more fun, because we got Van Hansen's Instagram. You want to get in touch with him. You want to support the event coming up here. So I'm going to pull this comment up. We're going to make this. I can't make the screen bigger, unfortunately. YouTube, I can. But if you want to support Van Hansen, that's his channel. That's all his great links here. So make sure you support him. He's got all different stuff going on. You want to support Amplified Wrestling, I would highly encourage that you do so here. And there's even a link tree here. So if you want to see the link tree, TikTok is up there, all different points. Go out there and support Mr. Van Hansen. He is V to the H. So we're going to pull this off the screen here real quick and come back to some more comments. And I have one of my clients entered in the Rumble, Richie Nightmare. He's going in to clean up. And I would love to have you on, Mr. Nightmare. I would love to have you. I would love to have you on here, Mr. Mass Mullet. Yes, you're definitely welcome. Mind Games, yeah, big Tex in the Mind Games. Saw a little bit about that last time when he was on the show. And I may have to come on here with the Striz app in the future once I take out
Sugar Dan.
Sugar Dan, what's up?
Well, tell Sugar Dan, if you're here on Sportswire, you're welcome anytime. We can definitely make something happen in the next few weeks, and I would love to have you come on. So, yeah, whatever you want. I mean, we're an open door policy, and, I think starting after next Tuesday, I'm available any evening. So any evening you want to come on the show, I'm welcome to have you. So, yes, definitely, Dan, I'd love to know more, and Craven Rage agrees with the truth. Okay, you know what? Obviously, I want to get to a few other things, but in the interest of time, and also I got to give you guys something. You guys are the Murder City Hit Squad. I don't want to be on the hit list. I obviously don't want to certainly be taken out by you guys.
It's kissing ass.
Well, I may or may not be, but I am supporting the event, by the way. I am supporting the event on February.
Let's hear them out. Let's hear them out.
Oh, I don't need any money, but I want to give you guys something, because trust me, they don't want to give me any money. But actually, I want to give you guys something, actually, for what all the great things you guys are doing out there, especially in supporting this event coming up on February the 24th. And if I could present you guys something. Now, obviously, I may be ass-kissing, so maybe you don't want me to present it on the screen, but only if you'd insist. I would like to present you guys something, for your work. And, everything that you might want. Okay, so you know what? I'm going to do it because we have an audience and they want to see what I'm going to present to you. So for those that are listening and watching on Sportswire Radio, I wanted to make it known that on this day here, February the 20th, 2024, on all of our Sportswire Radio platforms, including Twitch at Sportswire Radio, Tumblr at Sportswire Radio, Facebook at Sportswire Radio, sportswireradio.org, YouTube at Sportswire Radio 6579, Instagram at The Sports Report 2021, Twitter at Thomas Price 2017, and my personal Facebook page, that for all the great work that you guys are doing out there, is Enterprise and Amplified Wrestling Day. And gentlemen, I'll certainly give this to you guys off the air. If you'd like the physical copy, I would hope you would accept my physical copy of this.
Yes,
but
absolutely.
I do want to thank you guys, all serious and all kidding aside, for what your work on this event. And I'm proud to support it. Anything else I can further do to get the event over the finish line, I have no problem with that. And the next time you guys come on, obviously, I want to up the ante and induct you guys into our Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. So I come with gifts. I come here with my respect for all wrestling matters, and I really appreciate everything you guys are doing and allowing me to talk about the event, but also talk about some great wrestlers, many wrestlers that we've had on Sportswire Radio. Mr. Judgment, certainly, the Dawn's March, and obviously Mr. Castelli I'll come back to, and now you gentlemen. So I am certainly proud to support the event, and I just wanted to extend my support and my appreciation to what you guys are doing here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
I got an idea.
Okay. You want to keep the
Murder City King, the Murder City Lich, the Murder City Reverend.
Okay.
I'll take it. Listen, I'll take it. At this point, I mean, I'll take anything I can get at this point. No, I'm only kidding about the last part, but I'd be very honored. So anything you guys need, anything you guys have, I'm here. And I want to actually say hello to somebody real quick. My buddy from the state of Indiana, my very good buddy. Now, he changed his name because he retired his stepfather this past Sunday over at XCW's All Access show. He wound up defeating senior official Festus Davis. So, Michael Christian, how you doing, Michael? Nice to see you. And Mass Mullet wants to say congratulations. Absolutely.
Thank you.
We'll do that. So, I have to ask you, I know Van Hansen is in a match. Certainly, Kid Mike, but what's the future for you coming up here in Amplified Wrestling? I'd love to know for the audience on Sportswire Radio.
Hey, so as of right now, I do not have a match. However,
wait. The SSW champion of the world has no match. You're a heavyweight champion.
Well, you see, I've issued an open challenge to Balla for the Enterprise Heavyweight Championship, but he has yet to respond. I've sent him a contract in the mail. I've sent it through email. I've sent it on Facebook, TikTok, everything. And he won't respond. I've even sent it to his family members, and he won't respond. It's like he's scared of me. However, on Saturday, he won't have a choice but to sign that contract.
You want me to let Dennis G know?
Yeah. Let Dennis G know, because there has to be a Enterprise Heavyweight Championship at the end of that show.
I'm gonna message him right now.
Oh, you could do that? Really? I did not know you could do that. I'm certainly glad that you could. I guess we'll have to find out here while I pull up actually something else on the screen for the audience that I would hope that they might want to see, a little bit of information that I think that people would want to see. There we go. Now we have it here. That should work. There we go. So if you want to buy some merchandise also while you're at it from Mr. Van Hansen, you can do that here. Yeah, I figured, you know what? I actually got the hang of this here. Share the screen. I've been doing this for all this time, and people were like, well, how do you do different things? And I wanted to pull up some different things here. So obviously, you want to buy some merchandise, you want to support V to the H, and he's a popular man. Yeah, there you go. You know what? And I'm going to buy some merchandise later this week. So I mean, count me in for that. Yeah, I try. I certainly try, and I want to make sure I support those. I really wanted to pull up the Amplified link, and I can't find that, but I have the Van Hansen information, which will tell you.
If you go up, it's user/EPW-AW.
On TeePublic?
Yep.
Repeat that for me again.
EPW-AW.
Okay, let's see here. There we go. Now that's it. That's what I was looking for the whole time.
And any shirt that is bought of the poster for the show, even after the show, all proceeds will go to
Yes.
Evangeline's family.
Yes.
Excellent.
And you can also get it as different products. If you don't want a shirt, you want a sticker, a magnet, a poster. Yep.
Also, Tom, I just sent you my pro wrestling tee shop as well.
Excellent. I don't know if I'm going to see it right now in DM. I'm not going to probably be able to type it because you can see I got a million things, but I'm going to buy something as well because at this point, the running joke is that all I have in my wardrobe is wrestling shirts these days. So, I mean, at this point,
it will be done. Okay.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. So I will do that, but I also want to make sure people see here. The main thing is here, looking at this poster, that it's February the 24th. The doors open at 6 o'clock. Show starts at 7 p.m. It's at 151 East Cherry Street in McConnellsburg, Pennsylvania. Enterprise and Amplified are putting on a show, Fight for a Cure, $15 only. Think about this, ladies and gentlemen. I went out the other day and saw Argyle and I spent, I don't know, $20+ and then popcorn and soda. We're talking $50. And, you know, this is only $15. You can go out there and support a great cause for a young girl and her family. So go out there and make sure you support those that are doing it for the right reasons. And I'm always about that here on Sportswire Radio. So you got a chance to see a little bit of that. And I'll come back to that here in the remaining time. So let me pull this up. And Michael wants to say that I'm dealing with 2 toddlers, snacks, and naps. That's why I'm glad I don't have kids, but I know one of you guys do. So I'm going to say certainly, God bless America, and God bless those out there in the UK, because my UK listeners will kill me if I don't say God bless UK and God bless the Queen. But I need Sportswire merchandise. I will get it to you. I promise you, I will get it to you. I will actually, Michael. I will actually personally. I'll take care of you. I tell you that.
Sportswire pajama pants. I would buy them.
We don't have pajamas. Honestly, you know what? I got to be honest. I'm from Brooklyn, New York, right? And I never wore pajamas once. I mean, if you caught me wearing pajamas, I never wore pajamas in my life. Never did.
So I will say,
yep.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You're done. Go ahead.
I will say I messaged Dennis G about Balla not answering. And told him to get ready for Saturday for this contract signing. Dennis G says back, it will be done.
Yes, I like that here. And thank you for that message. I will put that up. Maybe I will try to get that on the screen before we sign off. I might be able to pull that off while I pull that here. I always go, this is from Sugar Ray Taylor. I always go around selling tickets by hand and bring traveling fans with me to make sure the gates get as much help for all involved. Sadly, not many in the UK do that. Yeah, it's a big problem. Unfortunately, people get booked on a show and they don't realize you're helping yourself out actually by promoting the show. You're actually helping yourself out. That's why, when we have shows come on Sportswire, I'm always like, listen, I'll support you whatever I can do. I'm always about those things. And again, you're actually helping yourself by supporting the show. So, I mean, it certainly makes the most sense here. I'm not doing jammies. I can get you a shirt though. How about let's settle on
boxers?
I'm not a Sportswire boxer guy.
With the mutton chops right at the crotch.
My mutton chops right now probably be as long as the boxers. It's funny. So it actually is funny. So I mean, but I will say that I actually they probably are as long as the microphone. But I actually will say at this point, Michael, I can get you a T-shirt. How about? I promise you, when we're off the air in the next day or two, I will personally get you the shirt. I promise you, I will get you the shirt because you've been one of my biggest supporters for a while. So we'll talk to you off the air about that. So obviously, we have a lot of people that still want to talk to you guys. So, I mean, let me ask you guys collectively a question for the Murder City Hit Squad. What are you guys' goals in 2024?
You want to go first?
Kick ass, take names, win belts, and expose the business. Yep.
Pretty much the same. And honestly, help the younger talent.
Yes. Help the younger talent for sure.
Yeah.
Not make the same mistakes that a lot of other people have been blinded by.
Yeah. Watch out for these sneaky promoters.
Yes. Watch out for the snakes. Expose the truth. Pull the wool out of the sheep's eyes, as I like to say.
Well, I'm going to certainly plead the fifth on that, and I am going to be able to get your shirt up here. Give me a few seconds. Rez face on the butt of boxer sport. I I think that would actually deter people from coming to Sportswire. I mean, if we want people to not come to Sportswire, great idea. I mean, I'll fully endorse that idea. I mean, I'm sure there are people that actually would like Sportswire to get involved in that idea, right? But I mean, certainly, if we want to move away from that idea, yeah, we can certainly do that for sure. I mean, definitely, I guess that's a great way to do things here. Okay, so obviously, you've answered goals. Van Hansen, I got to ask you one more time because Brandon Costelli's back in your chair Thursday night. And obviously, Mr. Costelli's been a busy man of late, just like you've been a busy man of late. So, any other things you want to say to Mr. Costelli? Anything else that, the audience should know, or certainly Mr. Costelli should maybe, I don't know, hear a final thought or two from you?
I will say, looking at the paperwork of that match, it seems Costelli's bringing Nix along with him.
Yes, he is.
And I will say that tell her to stay in her lane, know her role, watch out. I've faced people that are just as crazy as the Mauler. I will say, I'm not afraid of you. You brought this upon yourself by trying to attack my mentor, Token. So, this story is about to end. Saturday, in Fight for a Cure. And then I don't have to ever worry about you again.
And I'm not afraid to smack a female.
I wouldn't go that far.
well, as long as they're ringside.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, I beat Lydia Myers up. Did I win that match?
No, man. You lost. We've talked about this.
You can't keep Lydia Myers.
Or we're going to have problems.
I got to ask, what's with you and Lydia Myers? I see it all the time on Facebook. There's, for the audience here, what is going on there?
Lydia Myers is a thorn in my side. She's like a festering hemorrhoid that won't go away. And no matter what I do, I somehow keep getting involved with Lydia Myers. Even going back to when I was the first night in Amplified Wrestling and Enterprise, when they first started, she was there. She's always been there, and she, for some reason, won't leave me alone. And she doesn't like us for some reason.
So Lydia Myers actually stole my Love Drafts Ultraviolent Championship.
That she did. I was there. I saw it.
She came out with this phony contract that exits me from the match, strips me of the belt, and she can wrestle the other guy.
To be fair, that contract in SSW, only 4 people have won that contract. You, me, her, and Taco Loco. Only I, no offense, have successfully cashed that in before that moment.
Well, I sold mine for like $3,000.
Yeah, so. I mean, who wouldn't? Who wouldn't? But at the same time, I don't think she qualified for that match.
No.
Where in the contract did it say that Lydia Myers was allowed to win that match?
She's a female.
Right.
She's not hardcore.
Right. Lydia Myers stuck her nose in the wrong place. She put her nose in my business, his business. And when I get the chance to face her for that Ultraviolent Championship, I'm not pulling any punches. I'm not taking it lightly. I'm bringing it back home to Murder City. And all I will say is during that match, you haven't done hardcore. Just you wait.
Ooh, I tell you what, Lydia Myers, you certainly might be holding the Ultraviolent Championship, but I can promise you if what Van Hansen and Kid Mike get their hands on you once again, especially V to the H, your championship could be on a borrowed time. Your days could be
that booty again.
We'll certainly have to find out for sure. And, Mr. Kid Mike, apparently Mr. Big Tex wants to say he was thinking maybe in the future, you and him, and Mr. Tex just gave me a message that he wants to come back onto Sportswire, this time with a group that you guys basically spoke about at the beginning of the show. That's Chaos Conspiracy. So I might be seeing these guys in a couple of weeks here real soon on Sportswire Radio.
Well, Big Tex, if you want that work, you can get that work. Tell DBW to sign it, and I'll be there.
And you can bring Graves, too, because I'll be in this man's corner.
You can bring Graves. You can bring anybody you want.
Hold on. I got something great to tell you. So Graves is no longer going by the ring name of Graves.
Yep.
Silas. And when Chase Wakefield submitted the paperwork for it, he wrote Slias.
Well,
so you can bring Slias if you want.
Well, I guess it goes all to the point that I have brought up and others that certainly the Cyrus, xylophone, styrofoam, whatever you might want to call it at this point, he's struggling. He had not the 2023 he hoped for. We'll see if a name change gives him better luck in 2024 is all I'm going to say. Obviously.
But yeah, Big Tex, we can throw it down. You know, two big guys slugging it out. I'm down for that.
Yeah, you down for that? But that's up. But I think a lot of
Big
people
Tex wants to visit Murder City.
Hey, everybody has to take a trip eventually.
Maybe he's feeling too confident after facing the likes of Mr. Judgment that he all of a sudden thinks he can go toe to toe.
Mr. Judgment is nothing compared to us.
Right. I mean, you may be God's true son, but this is the Murder City King.
He's a great guy. He's a great wrestler.
Yes.
But
oh, yes. No.
We're the greatest.
But if Big Tex lost to Mr. Judgment, what do you think the Murder City King's going to do to him?
Murder him?
Right, exactly.
Murder
I mean, that was pretty self-explanatory. I was trying to do a big... Yeah.
Your jokes suck sometimes.
It was, well, I mean, look, I tried to finish it for you. Also, Michael wants to know, and I'll answer this for you. Murder City, is that in New Jersey? No, the guys are not based out of New Jersey. They're based in the Pennsylvania, like West Virginia area, basically, if I'm not mistaken, right? Pennsylvania.
Said Pennsylvania, West Virginia area. Murder City Maryland is exclusive to Maryland.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's better than the other city in Maryland, the riot one.
Oh, yeah, I heard of them. But he doesn't know because he's from Indiana, so he's watching. There are people that, watching and they want to know, like, where you guys are from. And Michael's from Indiana and just outside Shelbyville with our friends in XCW. So we always love when
Shelbyville?
Shelbyville, yep.
Like across from Springfield?
Yeah, kind of, yeah. I mean, well, Michael could probably answer that. But I always think about The Simpsons when I think about
that's what I was going on. Yeah. Shelbyville. It's more of a Shelbyville idea.
And is murder is anywhere you tie your boots?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yep.
Anywhere we go. Even if it's like McDonald's. If I got to stop and tie my shoe McDonald's, it's now the Murder City McDonald's.
I don't see you tying your shoes in a McDonald's, though.
No.
I mean, I'm sure we have once.
I don't think I have ever. But if I do, Ronald McDonald and Grimace are part of Murder City. So,
although I will probably make you chuckle, the McDonald's where I live has driven me nuts because they have kiosks and the kiosks never work. And then when I go and ask, I usually ask for I usually go for a large Coke, and it takes them like 10 minutes to give me the large Coke. I'm like, all I asked for is a large Coke. Yeah, the kiosks never work there, and then they only have one person at the register. But that's a different conversation for a different time. And obviously, I want people to support this event coming up here. And also, actually, I'll let Michael say another one. My buddy Justin Parsley. Justin is obviously one half of the XCW Tag Team Champions. He's coming on the show next Thursday. And, he's saying that, he'd love to see you guys square off with Justin Parsley and Rob Slater. Yeah, I mean, if that could happen, I mean, if there's a way I could make that happen, I'm sure I probably could. I mean,
Yeah. Line them up. We'll knock them down.
One by one.
I'll let Mr. Parsley know about that. They're coming on the show next Thursday in your chair.
From one team, one team.
One half of, the XCW Tag Team Champions against the Murder City Hit Squad. Yeah, you know what? I'm interested, and I think a lot of people would. I got a couple of comments on McDonald's. Hanson is more Burger King than McDonald's. Yeah,
he already knows. He's the Murder City King. I'm the Bacon King. I will slob a Bacon King with some fries and Oreos.
Are we going to see that on a Van Hansen vlog upcoming, like McDonald's and like McDonald's vlog? Don't do it though. Don't do it.
Oh no. But I mean, I am the Bacon King. I tell you what. There's a video of me wearing a Burger King crown running around a park and just celebrating Whopper Wednesday. So Mass Mullet knows that I'm all about the Whopper, double Whopper.
You rule.
Yeah, Burger King. They tell me I rule every time I'm there. So yeah.
Absolutely. And okay, I have a vintage McDonald's character stuffed. I'll sell you, and you dress him in Murder City gear. Okay, well, we'll have to find out all that here. All right, so obviously we could definitely talk a lot more, and I'm excited about the future for you guys. I see hopefully some DBW management listening to this, and maybe we get to see some wishes that I think a lot of people, what you guys have talked about, some other promotions that you guys would hopefully like to go to. And we've got this Saturday for a great cause. We're going to obviously continue to promote that. Anything Amplified and Enterprise have in the future, Sportswire would certainly love to be the home for all that coverage. So in the obviously interest for all the great things you guys, and also Metal Talk Mondays, check out Van Hansen and Metal Talk Mondays. Some guy you probably heard of named Chuck Billy of Testament. Oh, by the way, just basically endorsed Metal Talk Mondays, and make sure you go out there and support. And I see that, but let's give you guys closing thoughts. I'm going to go first with Kid Mike, our SSW World Champion. What an honor it has been to have you here on the show. I'm obviously anxiously awaiting what happens with you this Saturday, maybe some other things ahead in DBW and beyond. And I want to give you the floor. I want to give you some closing thoughts and anything else you want to plug, and the floor is yours.
Well, first things first, I want to say thank you to everybody who bought a ticket. You for donating buying 2 tickets for two lucky fans that may not have had the money to go or anything. Anybody that's supporting this show on Saturday. I want to thank everybody who listened in tonight. And thank you, Tom Bryce, for having us.
Oh, my pleasure. Listen, consider it done. You can come on anytime you want, and anything. You are the world champion, so world champions are always welcome on Sportswire. And the next time,
my next SSW match is actually against Ed House. I don't know if you know who that is.
I heard the name. Yes, I have.
Okay, so I'm gonna do it right here, right now. If Ed House is to start the night off, if he wants a title shot at my heavyweight championship, he has to beat me in a mozzarella stick eating contest.
Am I still banned from ringside?
Yeah, you can come to the contest.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got banned from ringside for his match with Ed House. I don't know why.
He loves mozzarella sticks, so I'm going to put it in his favor. I hate mozzarella sticks, but I can probably eat more than him.
Oh,
well, I only like certain mozzarella sticks,
Like from Sheets?
Yeah, Sheets is good.
Well, you know what? I'm going to certainly watch that very closely, and hopefully may the best man win in mozzarella sticks. We'll have to find out, sir. I was trying to think of something funny to kind of figure that out, but I think we'll certainly find out more of that. But Mr. V to the H, obviously, you've been here before, and I look forward to you guys coming on here more often. I want to give you guys some closing thoughts and anything else you want to plug, share, or say. And the floor is certainly yours, my friend, and fire away.
Yeah, no, same thing. Thanks for having us. Thanks for putting us in your Hall of Fame. That means a lot. And supporting us.
Yes, that too.
We're going to do the ceremony next time you come on in the interest of time. We're going to do it next time you come. We'll put back in a couple weeks, so we'll do it then. Yeah,
definitely. Thank you for having us. It means a lot to have, you support us. And yeah, there it is. It's cool to come on here every time. This is my second time here. And just have fun, talk about wrestling, interact with the fans. Especially on a night where there's no wrestling going on that we go to. It's just fun to get on and kick back, have fun. Definitely to anybody who's watching and you're not subscribed to Sportswire, man, subscribe. Like Tom Bryce has said, he's got a lot of cool people on, like Jimmy Controversy.
He endorsed the event, by the way. He wished you guys.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, I spoke to Jimmy actually 2 days ago, and he wished you guys very well. He watches some of my clips out there, and he speaks to me from time to time. So he's very supportive of you guys.
And also to anyone who wrestles for us and seeing this, because we did share the thing. Or we told
on our messenger
for our roster. To anyone who wants to interview, highly recommend it.
I would love it. I mean, anybody is welcome on Sportswire. I mean,
yes.
So Tom, we actually have something for you.
Oh God.
Yes.
Shoot.
So this Saturday is our Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Unfortunately, you won't be there.
No, I will not, sadly.
However, we would like to induct you into our Hall of Fame and send you a plaque of our Hall of Fame.
Sure.
So
I mean, I'm sure.
If you want to send me or Hanson your PO box or address or
I
whatever
have an
women can
address.
get that.
I have a physical address. Yes, I would
One
certainly.
for one. We
I do have
traded.
an address. I actually do have an address. No, I would absolutely, very be honored with that. I would certainly do a video with that. We talk about it here on Sportswire. It's funny. I've been getting gifts recently. I got Pez. I had a Pez guy come on, kind of the worldwide Pez collector. He gave me Pez in
I
the
seen
mail.
that.
Yeah, that was great. I mean, people still ask about that. I had the Tribal Cheese give me the whole CCW stack of cards. I have a guy Skulls that gave me something. I didn't open it in the mail yet. So yeah, I mean, listen, I was gonna do the guy with the VKM initials and not do the Hall of Fame out, but because you guys want to induct me, of course, I'll do a video, whatever you guys want. And if I will probably buy one more ticket before the show is out for Thursday. When Brandon's on, I'm going to announce I'm going to buy one more ticket for you guys. I want to get you guys right over the finish line. How's that sound?
We appreciate that.
Yes, thank you.
Very much so.
Thank you so much.
I'm going to get you guys over the finish line. I promise. I know we're right there. I know I've heard from people through the grapevine. You're just about to sell out. So I'll give you one more ticket, and I'll do that when Brandon's here Thursday, and we'll get you right over that finish line. I promise you. That way we're going to get you. We're going to get you there. You're going to get there. Can't do a video call for the introduction. I mean, I can. Whatever you want. I mean, I'm trying to think. I'm on the whatever you guys want. I mean, ultimately, whatever you guys want. I mean, if you want to send me something and I'll do a video for whatever it is, you guys can let me know. I mean, I'm going to be on the air Thursday. Anybody else that's listening from the roster, you want to message me? I'm on Facebook at Tom Bryce. I'm on Facebook at Sportswire Radio and my YouTube channel, and let me know, and I'd be happy to be in touch, and anything I can do to help the company. And you want to come on the show, feel free. So. All great stuff. All right, fellas. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to seeing the future for you guys. I'm looking forward to this Saturday show. We'll see what Brandon has to say in response to what you said, V to the H. But until then, Big Tex, you could be on a hit list. Mr. Judgment, you're holding the Enterprise Championship. You're holding the DBW Championship for how much longer? I don't know. And Lydia Murray, I mean, stay tuned because your days could also be numbered. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, please support Van Hansen. Please support Amplified Wrestling, Enterprise Wrestling, all these links here below, and I promise you it'll be worth it and some. So my name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice of all wrestling, where all wrestling matters here. If you're on Sportswire Radio, you're going to go back to your regularly scheduled programming. I'll be back here at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. British Standard Time tomorrow with Dustin Hart of CCW. I'll be here with Sugar Ray Taylor at some point as well throughout the day, and we were just here with the Murder City Hit Squad, the SSW champion of the world, Kid Mike, and the man who is V to the H, the host of all the great things he does on YouTube, Mr. Van Hansen. Check him out and check out Amplified Wrestling and Enterprise Wrestling's upcoming show this Saturday. It's a fight for a cure. Until then, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. On the number one global radio station that is Sportswire Radio, where all wrestling